A writer's life involves a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change. And this doesn't have to be an unstable thing at all, because think about it. The very nature of a writer's work is constantly evolving. You're not writing about the same thing over and over again. You're writing about different things in different ways. Even if you write about the same subject, which I always recommend that you do have a specialty, within that specialty, you're always uncovering something a little bit deeper or covering the topic from a new angle, or just doing more research in a related field that adds more insight into the topic that you talk about. Again, we're never doing the same thing over and over again. So if you are a writer, you just naturally have to get used to a lot of uncertainty and unpredictability, because there's a lot of pivoting within your career. And pivot is a word that I've been using a lot lately. I think it's very appropriate for just assessing where you are and making the necessary movements and changes to keep going in the direction that you ultimately want to head in, which may look a little different from before, because again, things are always unpredictable. Things are always changing. Think about any year. In January, you really can't predict everything that is going to happen by December. And in December, you look back and go, wow, like all of the stuff that I didn't expect to happen happened, because expect the unexpected is a great thing to keep in mind always. Even when we have plans, and even when we have goals, the unexpected does not mean that you shouldn't plan, or rather, keeping the unexpected in mind. How do you keep the unexpected in mind? It is unexpected. Okay, so that's not what I was trying to say, but what I am trying to say is, even though you can't predict everything that's going to happen, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't set goals or have plans. But there always is going to be other things that come up. And this year just magnified that a lot. And I don't want to downplay the devastation that this year has caused for so many people, because I take that very seriously, and I've talked about that in other videos. So there's no reason to rehash that now in my last video of the year. But for writers, we're used to this environment. And if you're not used to this environment, you maybe shouldn't be a writer, because the thing about not giving up as a writer is that you have to be satisfied when things don't go your way. Going back to the word pivot, is when things don't go your way, you pivot. I talked about this in last week's video. I'll put some links below to other videos that are related to what I'm talking about. But there's not a sense of, there cannot be a prolonged sense of sadness when things don't go your way. Being a writer involves being content with what is, and pivoting to keep going and keep growing as a writer, so that you don't give up, because you're either growing as a writer or you give up. There's not, it's kind of extreme that way. But at the same time, what I'm really talking about is just being neutral to what circumstances are and finding your way to move forward regardless. It's sort of the same when it comes to either praise or criticism. Writers who keep going and don't give up become neutral to praise or criticism. Praise is nice. You can hopefully internalize it and feel good about praise or any success that you have. But you don't get carried away with it, because the next piece of writing is something that you're going to have to start from scratch, and it's never any easier, even if you have a lot of practice and things are easier than before. A new piece of writing, you're always starting that from scratch. It's always the beginning of a new creative endeavor. And so any past praise or success really is not relevant in those moments, because you just have to keep working. And the same goes for criticism. when we do get some sort of negative feedback, we can choose to either, take anything that we could learn from that experience, or if it's just negative and it's not constructive and there's nothing that you can learn from it, you have to learn to let that go. Because again, none of that matters when you're at your next piece of writing. When you're just starting that new project, the past doesn't really matter in that moment. You have to be very focused on the present. And again, being focused on the present goes hand in hand with being neutral to whether things are going your way or not going your way, and being content with, working in the present moment, which I think is a lesson that anyone could learn from this year, or, not even something that needs to be learned, but a bit of comfort to keep in mind, and a bit of, not getting too far ahead with any planning, because we have to, again, pivot when unexpected things come up, so that we don't get completely thrown off, and that we do keep going. So I think writers should be proud of the abilities that I think they already had before this year started, which puts them in a great position to continue going forward, because we don't know what's happening next. So this is 2020 and beyond is a great place for writers to be. Like I said, this is my last video of the year. I'm taking a short break for the holidays. I'll probably start posting again mid to late January of 2021. So I hope that you have a great holiday season as well. If you're not already subscribed, click the red subscribe button and tap the notification bell, so that when I do post my first video in 2021, you get a note letting you know I have something new for you to check out. If you are a writer and you are used to change and uncertainty, give this video a like. And have a great holiday season. I hope you get some downtime, some nice relaxation, and just having have fun too. I should have led with have fun. I mean, that's what this time of year is for, if you can fit it in. So I wish you that. Thank you so much for joining me this year. I appreciate it so much. And I will talk with you soon.